Thanks everybody for joining. It's going to be a great call today. We've got two really interesting sessions. One on project operations, which I feel is like an often underloved application, and one on Copilot Studio, which we know is everybody's hot topic, isn't it? So just a little bit of code of conduct. We're recording. The highlight for me of these calls alongside the learning is how everyone engages and comes up with ideas, gives perspectives, answers each other's questions. So we'd love you to stay as engaged as possible in the chat, please. As I said, these are our two sessions for today, project operations and how we can enhance ERP specifically with Copilot Studio. So before we kick off, we've got a couple of things we just want to run through with you. As usual, if you want to find the latest links to our content, go to our Dynamics 365 community Linktree link, please. And if you want to get the latest on the events that are coming up, go to this second link, which is the community events Linktree. We keep that updated all the time. Now, I don't know if is Charles here, V, to talk through stuff about the community site, or shall you and I handle that?
I'm right here.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, what do you want to do, Charles? Do you want to take over the screen? I think last time you were jumping into the environment, were you?
Yeah, sure, I can do that.
Okay,
Give me
awesome.
just a second.
Thank you.
All right. I don't have the ability to share for some reason.
Okay. I feel like we always have fun with this. Let me make you a presenter again. I don't know why it's kicked you out. I wonder if it changes it for every call. Okay, here we go.
All right, good.
There we go.
Okay, can you see my screen?
It is loading.
Okay, great. So what I want to spend a little bit of time talking about now is one of the big plans we have. I think we've been hinting at this for a while, but we're planning on essentially reconcepting the community site. If you haven't been to the community site in a while, head on back. We've been doing some really exciting things with it. We have a dedicated development team now, and we are making all sorts of improvements. We're pushing it out every couple of weeks. And the last year or so has been about really getting a lot of the core things that had previously not really worked working. We're pretty much there now, like the spam problem on the Power Platform site that you had here for a while, that's all gone. We've really addressed performance. We've done a whole lot. And so our goal for this year is to now do exciting stuff. And some of the exciting things we have planned are really reorienting everything so that it's not simply about going to the community site and asking a question and getting an answer, but having more of a social space, a place where you can go and connect with other people, a place that you can go and say, hey, I need a speaker for this presentation, or, oh, I'm planning on going for a certification for something. Who else might be willing to form a study team with me? Whatever the sort of thing it might be. And then the bigger plan ultimately is to start weaving in various types of co-pilots in there. And we have, like last I checked, about 17 different agents that we have like planned in various phases to start weaving into it. That being said, all of this begins with first the basics. So one of the things that I was looking at, and actually we were all looking at some time back, is the navigation. The navigation is very forum centric. So you kind of go there and, I want to search for stuff within the forum. I want to post a forum question. I want to go to forum areas and all that stuff. Okay, that's fine. And then you have your blogs here and your user groups and all of this. But it felt like the bulk of stuff was all just sort of taken and thrown into resources. So things like your learn stuff, your community stuff, the events, all of these things that are actually important all seem to be thrown into resources. So what we found is a lot of things would get buried. And people who would have like community blogs, for example, wouldn't necessarily get the number of views that we thought we would want. Things like this, which take up a whole lot of real estate for no real reason. We think all these things are things that are worthy of changing. Like these are just enormous icons for no real reason. So we're thinking about sort of reorienting it and making it more like what you would see in like a Reddit, where it's going to be more things that are tied to your interest. I'm an ERP person. What's the latest ERP news? What's the latest ERP blog? Which member of the community has done something cool? What's the latest event that's coming up specific to ERP? Things that allow the site itself to evolve based upon your interest and your profile. That's one of the things we have planned. So that being said, one of the things that we decided to do, and we've had some conversations both internally and externally, and now I wanted to share it with you, was to reorient the way that the site is navigated. So instead of it being this giant catch-all, wait for it. Instead of it being this giant catch-all of resources, we instead wanted to make things more action-oriented. Get your questions answered. Okay, great. Here's your product forum. Get product support. Okay, right here. What are the community programs? Okay, here's the latest community news. You heard about Fast Track recently. Here's the Fast Track stuff. Here's the community spotlight. Here's the person within the ERP community who's doing some really cool things. Here's some community events. If you go to the site now, there's like 3 events. And we know that there are a lot more than 3 events you guys are having. So you want to make this like more of a place to centralize all of the events. Where are the online events? Where are the in-person events? What are the community days type things and community org events that are happening? We really want it to be a centralized place where you can go every day to get the latest, greatest stuff. Now, so action-oriented. Get your questions answered, right? Go to an event. Learn more about Dynamics. So what are the resources? Learn, certifications. Here are the articles and blogs. Here are the latest videos. Here are the other communities we have. How do we start unifying this stuff with LinkedIn? How do we start unifying this with the things with YouTube? Like, we want this to be the place where you hear everything about Dynamics first. And by engaging more of our PMs, like we're doing now, learning more from you, hearing more from you, this is going to be the first place where you get all the breaking news. And then finally, get involved. I have an idea for a product. Let's submit the idea. I have an idea for ways that we can improve the community platform. Great. I want to join a user group. I want to learn how to become a super user. I want to learn how to become an MVP. I want best practices on how I can parlay my super user status into being an MVP or renewing my MVP status. So having all of this, I think, becomes a somewhat more organized method of navigating the community going forward. Okay, I'll pause here for a second, and I'll give people a little bit of time to chime in on things a little bit. We've been kind of going through, we went to the user group leaders and got some feedback from them. We talked to the community managers and got some feedback from them. So this is sort of a hybrid Frankenstein combination of things that your community managers thought of, things we thought of, like Lydia, Vargas, and I, things that came from feedback from the user group leaders. And now we're kind of pitching it to you to see if there's anything, any particular reaction you have, positive or negative. And I'm happy to take a screenshot of this as well before Vandana does it.
Maybe also you can talk a little bit about, this is a perfect example where we're looking for feedback, but maybe you can talk a little bit about our plans to have the, I was going to call it committee, and get tell folks about how they could get involved in that.
Yeah, sure. So I mentioned a little earlier that we're planning on reconcepting a lot of this, and we want to make it more community-oriented and action-oriented, a place where people can go and connect. So we'd love to get some stakeholders involved. Right now, we've been working with some combination of super users and MVPs, but the community isn't just for super users and MVPs, it's for everyone. So we'd love to get a cross-selection of people who are interested in shaping what the future of this is going to look like. If you have opinions, thoughts, experiences, if you've ever sent me an angry message on LinkedIn, I want to hear from you because now you have an opportunity to help shape things. So whatever it may be, send me an email and let me know if you're interested in joining a community. I am putting my email address right here, and drop me a line. I'm forming a team. and our team is going to be the team that's going to shape all the cool things we're planning on doing this year.
Yeah, I think as Charles said, our plan is to do this in a series of phases. Phase 1 is, hey, it's impossible to difficult to find stuff on the site. Let's make it easier by fixing the navigation. Phase 2 is let's clean up the content that's on there. Forums are great. Lots of the other content is a little bit out of date. And then from there, there's so many creative things we can do with this site. And as Charles said, now that we have a full-time development team working on it, we really can get traction making changes. So if you are passionate about the community site and you want to be able to go ahead and actually influence and give feedback, suggest ideas, then please go ahead and drop Charles an email and we will get you involved in what will essentially be committee involvement, committee meetings going forward to give feedback and shape the way the community site goes.
Yep. And if you're already a super user, make sure you come to the super user meeting. Super user meeting is kind of our de facto community site planning meeting. So make sure you come, particularly this one. It's going to be a doozy because we're going to unveil our roadmap for the year.
Awesome. Why don't I take back controlling the screen? Is that all right, Charles?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, where were we? Okay, before we jump into our speakers, as always, we just want to let you know what are the latest events that have been announced, things that you can get involved in from a presenting perspective. So you can see that, but I can't see that on my own screen, which is interesting. Let me... Oh, here we go.
You can see your
perfect.
presentation now.
Cool. I just couldn't control it, which was weird. Okay, V, do you want to talk about our first upcoming event?
Yes. Well, Power Platform Community Conference, while it isn't until October, the reason we did want to announce it is because the registration for the event is now open, and we also have a buy one, get one full conference pass going on till the end of this month. So February 28th, take advantage of it. And community calls have started. This slide wasn't updated, but it did start last week. And so for any of you who want to be part of it and present, call for content is open. We would love to see you there. I know while this is a F&O crowd, a lot of you also work with Power Platform, and the mix of knowledge would only be beneficial for everybody. So yay, Power Platform Conference. Hope to see you there.
Thanks, V. Okay, Anna, are you happy to talk through some of the community events that are coming up?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay, so we have yes, upcoming, and it's in just exactly 10 days. 9 and 10 days, we have a Global Power Platform Bootcamp. This bootcamp, I think we have several topics that will be discussed. Of course, as we always said, it's not only ERP, we do also have Power Platform, and it's really difficult to speak about one without speaking about the other, right? So we are all working in the combination of both, and now with everything that is changing in LCS, it's good to have both. So yeah, Power Platform Bootcamp, it's coming very, very soon, and as stated in the slide, it's free. So just go and have a look at it and see if it makes sense for you to get involved.
I think we actually had someone mentioning in the chat the Power Platform Bootcamp as well. Oh no, different. Powerful Devs Conference.
Yes, that's one. That's starting tomorrow, right?
Oh, is it? Okay, awesome. Cool. Okay, another one. Collab Days. Oh,
Yes,
my
sorry.
slide's not updated. It's not in March, it's in February, but for some reason my slide did not update.
It's okay. Yes. Do you want to go ahead or should I?
No, I'd love you to. That would be great.
Okay, perfect. So we have another community-led event, which is we all know Collab Days. Depending on where we're based, we may have one in different locations. And yeah, we have this one coming up. It's more about it used to be SharePoint as you have here, but it now changed a bit and is moving to broaden, of course, the overview of the solutions. It's also free, so just have a look as well as to the screen. And I'm sorry, I have someone interrupting me. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
And yeah, it's for free. So just go and register, have a look. And if you're around, of course, it's in Germany. So yeah, I think it's a nice one. And also happening at the same time of the previous one. Good. Oh God, we have plenty of events happening at the end of February. Here we have Microsoft 365 Community Days. I think that all of this here we have. The links, Lydia, are all in the link tree,
They're all in the
right?
link tree. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know Angeliki wanted to call these out as US based events because so many of the events that we've been
Yes.
highlighting are European.
Yes, exactly. So to be fair with everyone, we have people from Europe, but of course we have people from the US and from probably South America that might be joining and would like to join or travel to one of these events. So just know that these are happening. We have in DC, it's everything about Microsoft 365. So that means that it will be mainly related to the trendiest word of the year, which is Copilot, and some other topics like Power Platform and of course SharePoint and so on. Then we have the second event. It's, I hope I can pronounce this well, Knoxville M365. As well, we have again Microsoft 365 and Power Platform, and it's aimed for very various like audience. So just yeah, if you're around and would like to know, just go ahead. We will share the link tree so you can find all the info. And then the last one, which is in Phoenix, as well, is also Microsoft, and it's led by it. We have industry leaders, but we also have MVPs, and everyone is sharing their knowledge and experience, not only in Microsoft 365 but also in Power Platform. And one thing about this last one is that there are these workshops that are hands-on, is not only sessions. So if you want to learn something and you're around, just drop by.
Awesome. And then we've had a few mentioned in the chat as well that we weren't covering. So
yes,
the Canadian Power Platform Conference is an exciting one. And love to hear about the first Macedonian user group. That's so awesome. 180 attendees is an incredible turnout as well. So congratulations. We have a badge to hand out. Anna, do you want to cover this one?
Of course. It's like it comes without saying when we say Lasse, we speak about a person that is engaged and enthusiastically either arguing in the chat or contributing to what the speakers are talking about and what so this comment about the user group and so on. So yeah, he is very engaged. So Lasse, we wanted to give you the engagement enthusiast badge. Not really sure about how you get it, but maybe Lydia, you can explain.
Yeah. So Dwayne will email you after this call and send you basically a badge that you can post on social media and like I don't know what it's called. It's like an edge that you put on your profile picture as well. So we just wanted to say thank you. You've been endlessly enthusiastic and a great member of our community. So
thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. This is a very big surprise, honestly. I'm happy now that I joined the call. It's my birthday today, so my family is waiting for me to take them to dinner. So this is a very nice gift. See, thank you, Anna. Thank you, Lydia. Very great.
Good. Happy birthday as well. One of the chances of you
course.
actually attending on your birthday. It's impressive. It is called a frame as well. Thank you, Anthony. Why I love that V. We totally knew this. Why don't we jump into some speakers? Okay, Sebastian, are you happy to go up first? I think I've made you a speaker, so you should be able to dive right in and educate the masses on project operations.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Lydia. I can start. That's fine.
Awesome.
Let me just. Okay. I cannot. Let me figure it out how I can share my screen. Just a second. Teams and sharing. You told me I only have 15 minutes, so it will be a challenge.
So, perfect. We love a challenge, don't we?
Jesus. All right. Yeah, then let's start right into it, right? So today we want to talk about project operations a little bit, because it's a little bit like the misunderstood application. So I want to give you a little bit like insights about it. My name is Sebastian. I work for Promix in Germany for like, I don't know, 10 plus years now. And I'm original from consultant team to product development. I have seen everything. But right now I'm just responsible for everything that comes in with the technology pace. And yeah, happy to be here. So thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And just a disclaimer, because it's only 50 minutes, it will be like rapid fire. And I'm also a CE guy, so I'm not really into the ERP stuff, but I will give my best. So, all right. So what we're doing today is I will give you a little overview about project operations itself. We will talk about the architecture as this is happening on the CE side. I will provide you with some use cases. You can also take them away and go to your boss or explore it by yourself. We'll do a little live demo as well. That's why it's getting challenged with this 50 minutes. And then at the end, we just do a little summary. I have some links for you in terms you want to learn afterwards or start a learning path with project operations. So everything is there. And yeah, that's it. So briefly, basically providing you a small bite of whatever project operations is. So in the complex world today, a lot of people claim to tell project operations that they're like a beast of complexity, because it combines as well functionality of project fully web, the older Dynamics 365 PSA version, so the project service automation part, which was in the past the like CE only project management tool, and as well like some integration with finance. So we do have different deployment types where we have the CE only part, which is wrongly named the light part. But like it could be like named a bit more faithful for it, but I'm going with it. So, and then as well, we do have the integrated deployment types where we do have a resource and non-stock scenarios where we as well integrate parts from the F&O via dual write. You may have heard of that. And then as well, there's like an F&O only part, which is like the project management tool there. So for the stocked and production scenarios. So the interesting part is that as well, like from a historical part, but as well right now, like a lot of people working on the team on Microsoft are from like the F&O part. So they kind of tried to redo project management in the C side. And meanwhile, it's getting a lot of like different usage or different capabilities from all the different tools which we have available in the whole platform, which makes it quite interesting and one of the only products which works like cross-platform on that CE side. So let's jump right in and let us answer this question if it's really like this kind of complex beast which we hear a lot from. So maybe first of all, for all of you, short overview, like what do I get with project operations? What do I do with it? So of course we have like the project management part, the project planning part. We do have time entries, we can do expenses and stuff like that. But I think the most or one of the most important parts next to like the cost and billing capabilities is like really the support for the sales. So closing deals a bit faster, getting like a decent planning by the project management into like a level of a quote when I send it out to a customer can be super helpful. So what we can do with project operations, we can do the planning during the quotation phase on my project already, and I can staff my resources. I can staff them based on their availability, but I can as well search people based on skill, on their role, and then perhaps yeah, highlight gaps which I do have in my resource utilization, or as well kind of hire new people through HR, which I need for my project staffing. So this all gets very interesting, especially when we talk about integrations to different ERP environments. So I'm from Germany, so we do have a lot of SAP actually, but as well with the F&O and the other ERP environments, like 99% in our scenarios, we do have somewhere an ERP. And this ERP comes into place on the opportunity level, maybe even like a step before that. And we just go through the whole process on the ERP side and just do the planning on the project side. And that's the real like nice thing about the whole Power Platform and Dynamics, that we can do all this customization. We can customize the whole process so it fits into the existing ERP process, because like customers don't want to change their ERP, right? They don't want to like touch that heavy thing. So we are more like from the C Power Platform side, and we can change these things very, very quickly and fast. So this ERP integration in the beginning for the sales data, and as well in the end when we have gotten through all the execution of the project, including approval and stuff like that. We create pro forma invoices, which we then as well can transport or sync to the ERP back, where we then do the real billing actually to the customer. If we talk about the Power Platform, then like where we are talking about it, so where we are. So if we look at the default stack with Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Pages, and Copilot Studio now, we as well do have like this whole groundwork basically with Dataverse, managed environments, PowerFX, the whole AI builder functionalities, and as well data connectors, which give us the opportunity to connect to like any kind of third-party tool or different data sources. And if we now look at like where project operations sits and Dynamics especially, it sits right on top. So we can definitely say this helps us a lot to leverage all of these different features throughout the project operations implementation, and opens up that door as well for all of the finance and ERP customers. And don't forget, we also have the finance part in the back end, and as well we do have the capabilities of project for the web, which as well brings in much more value for the end users. You see, I'm trying to get fast through it, but I'm trying to do my best. So for the use cases, we do have very different personas across the whole business process of every customer. So we have guys looking into finance who want to be aware how the strategic folds out about the project profitability. We have sales managers looking into the account insights, the quotes, and want to do milestone or time and material based quotation. We have a whole section in the PMO to monitor multiple projects, multiple project contracts as well, to oversee the budgets. We do have project managers doing all the task stuff with the board, with the integration and maintaining their dependencies, trying to get like more budget for the project and keeping into these limits. And as well the resource manager, who's then very close to the HR, for example, to maintain the resource utilization, and as well to manage like, do I have the right skills and roles inside my company to do this project? And maybe not next week, but maybe as well to do the project like next year, because we can just plan that and then we see like what kind of resources we would need for perhaps a Copilot project, or do I need to offer trainings? Do I need to hire maybe new resources to do so? And of course, the project team member. Who's the guy who's doing like all the work? Sorry, not me. Who's doing all the work, tracking their expenses, tracking their time entries, which then helps us to earn money at the end of the month, to then as well then get these invoices out. And as well for him, or for them, it's very interesting to get like all transparent information across this whole structure. Now the interesting part of the demo, I need to stop sharing for a moment and come back to it. I told you it will be a challenge. So let's see, this should be the right one for you. Yes. You should see my Dynamics environment, right?
Yeah,
I can
we
see
do.
people. Okay, perfect. So here we're just checking on a default project. So we have different key information, a lot of numbers, when does it start, how many efforts and things like that. But as a project manager, I really want to look into my project plan, which then directly comes in with the interface from the project follow up. So I do have my plan. I do see like who's assigned. In this case, it's me and a bunch of generic resources because this is just a plan. We are in the quotation phase. We do have made up a plan for this project, and we send this basically back to our sales that they can proceed with the quotation. So what we have here, we have all the different tasks I need to do. I have like custom values here, like how the trend will evolve. I have a custom task budget KPI, and as well I have a custom effort and a sign-off date when we need to sign different documents here. I as well have dependencies which fold up in the timeline. So if we zoom out a little bit, I can see as well all the different dependencies across the whole project structure. And I even can highlight, that, the critical path right here. And then basically then see the data here, right here. So where I don't have any additional buffers or I don't have any gaps between my project planning. And as well, as you could already see, I can export that to PDF, Excel, and then as well print it if I need to do it. I can as well organize my whole work in a board view, so I can as well do all the stuff here. I can bring in custom buckets, organize them as well, like with drag and drop here, organize my work, highlight the tasks, for example, with labels to claim that's high priority, that it's external or customer based, and then proceed with a very detailed planning. And as mentioned, as a sales guy, sales manager, I'm just waiting for these results. So I have my quote, which is open, and I need to kind of give back my. Can we go? Yeah. I need to give back like the quotation to the customer soon. So what I want to do is I have everything prepared. I have a quote line. I have my connected project here, which we just saw, and I can just insert everything from that estimation. So from a business process, I do get like my quotation in as a sales manager based on ERP, based on my sales process, and then give it to a project manager who then can plan the whole stuff out, and then as well can block resources or block time independent of generic resources, which are not real resources. They're like kind of placeholder. And I can see that I need those kind of resources within the next month. For example, certain developer or certain skilled people. While this is loading, because we want to get further as well, when we look into like a project that is further down the track, so we're already in the delivering phase, we have different capabilities to keep the track of. First of all, with the help of Copilot, we can generate risks based on our project plan, based on the progress on the project, based on the topic as well, which we are in. For example, in this case, we are delivering the Dynamics 365 customer service module, and there is perhaps some challenges with that, compatibility issues, data migrations. So based on like what we are doing, we get the different risks assigned by the AI. And throughout the execution, I can as well track my budget. I just have limited the view here, so it's easier to read. So I do have a budget which I run against my project, and I can see that I actually have already $630 here in total actuals against that project, and I do have a forecast amount which then as well kind of exceeds my my actual budget with that. So I need to work a little bit in here as well. So I can, as a project manager, control the whole budget and review the budget while everything is in basically execution and delivering phase, and at the end then as well get some nice reporting out of it, which is again powered by Copilot. In this case, we're deciding for the internal one, as the internal just delivers a little bit more information. And while this is loading, we check for, yes, my quote. And here I can see I get like all of the different tasks, including the roles and the prices which are set up for the role, and as well some zero values, because my project manager work here is non-chargeable. So I can as well decide like what is chargeable, what is not chargeable, and so on, and as well have some licensing in here. So, and when I go back to my quote line, I can see that I do have a fee on that, I have a discount on that, and I have a total amount, which is then, yeah, just below my not to exceed limit, and as well still based on the customer budget. So everything is fine. I can go back to my quote, and I should as well then see as some refreshed values here. So I can see as well how the distribution of the cost looks like, what is the customer budget, what will be quoted, and move on here from my sales perspective and move in with a just much more better detailed quote into the race with the customer. And we're jumping a little bit back and forth, but I'm trying to stay in time. And then as well with AI, with Copilot, I can get like the status report. Trust me, I would never write that much about my project. So there's a little summary here based on AI. And the nice thing is here, that Sebastian work more. I can still make changes to it. So I can still bring in my own flavor, my own gut feeling as like your project manager. So it's much more coincident that I don't just rely on the whole AI. I can just bring everything in. I do see some financial data. Do we really care about data? Yeah, financials. Yes, we as well get like some reporting there, and as well some task overview based on the completion. So I have one completed, the 4 are in progress, and I need definitely to talk about my team members because they're definitely lacking here. They not even have started their work yet. So I see everything here. I can download the report, I can print it, or as well can access it anytime later in the system. So these are saved based on the execution date, on the project itself. So I can as well use that as like a milestone reporting, or as well as a monthly update to all of the different stakeholders of the project. I'm 2 minutes over it, but I still have like 2 slides.
Go for it. Take it. Do your 2 slides.
So let me reshare that. So we saw the demo. So very short for the summary. Is it a beast of complexity? I would highly question mark that, because it is just like something, a nice tool that unites like very different and multiple productivity suites, like from the office part with the task planning. We can create power apps, we can do Power BI based on all the data. Everything is right there in the Dataverse, and we can just grab the data and do the low code magic with it. We can as well connect it with all the different Copilot and Copilot Studio sources. So it's very, very high flexible, and we can really get the most out of it. And I really like it as a project cost management tool. Very short summary. So no, it's definitely not such a beast. And if you want to learn more, I hope you can't click on them. I will share the links in the chat afterwards. But there are different learning paths out there in the Microsoft documentation, of course. And if you want to know more, because 15 minutes is very short to talk about project operations, you can get in touch with me anytime. So please just reach out. There's as well a blog where I write about new functionality and what's going on, and it's a lot. Yeah, and that's it, I think. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
That was awesome. Thank you. I think you clearly have a lot more to say about project operations. So folks, definitely follow him to learn more information. We got a question in the chat, a product question. Can project operations, a couple of questions. Can it manage multiple projects and perform portfolio management?
Not today. Not today.
Another one, does it support?
It can do it because you can kind of extend it and customize it, but out of the box, not today.
Another question, does it support resource scheduling across multiple projects for managers?
Sorry, what was the question? Like,
I think it means does it manage multiple does it support resource scheduling across multiple projects for managers?
In not out of the box, but so the resource scheduling is based on the unified resource scheduling board, which you also well know from field service. So you do create an resource requirement request basically there, which then lands in the scheduling board. So you can let the schedule from a project manager view, but you can as well have a centralized scheduling agent, for example. This runs by project, but you would see an overview, like, for example, Anna is scheduled on multiple projects at the same time. So we would see that. There's, but you would not see that while you're requesting that resource. You will see it in the resource scheduling board overview. And when you're searching for like the skilled resource, the skilled employee you're searching for, this is what you will see. And I think hopefully this is okay-ish as an answer.
And then there's one,
see it, and it should be fine.
Andreas, you've got your hand up. Do you have a question?
Yeah, hi, Sebastian. I heard there is an event coming up in April, correct, on project operations?
Yes, we're doing an event in Germany, in Munich, about project operations specifically, yes.
Yeah, and my question is, when I look on the agenda, when it comes to ERP, as we are here in the ERP call, all scenarios are with SAP, yeah, unfortunately. So why do you think has the end-to-end story, which is super cool, not really landed with F&O customers on a wider space? Of course, there are some, but not this. Yeah, I'm still looking for the reason why.
Yeah, that's a great question. So what I personally think is that, so what I see from customers especially in Germany or the German-speaking region, but as well on a global base, that they are very shy to change the ERP system. So they already have something in place, and then they would like to extend that, but like creating that path from or the journey from new on, this is very painful for them. That's at least like what I have seen in the past. So if someone has an SAP system today, they may need much more arguments to change it to, like, for example, for F&O system. And I think that's the biggest thing. So what we're doing is we are just like connecting to the SAP, and we are good from our side, and we are already on the Power Platform. And at some point, maybe the customer comes to the conclusion that they need like an update on the ERP system, or there are some nice features they need for their processes which are only available in the Microsoft Cosmos, and then there is already the door open through that integration. But I think, so in general, to answer your question shortly, I think that the motivation needs much more energy to change the ERP than to change your customer relationship management system.
Okay,
I'm conscious of time and want to move on to our next presenter, Juan, talking about Copilot Studio. So there's a couple of questions in the chat. Maybe you could address those. That would be awesome. And you should have access to now present to us on Copilot Studio, Juan. So let me know if you have any issues.
Thank you, Lydia. So hello, everyone. So today, let me quickly share my screen first. Let's see if that's work. Let me know if you can see it, please.
It's just loading now. Yeah, awesome.
Perfect. So my name is Juan Bravo. I'm solution architect in HSO International. I have a few minutes to present this, so I will try to make it quickly. And again, a quick disclaimer is that my main technology is ERP. I'm exploring in the last month Copilot Studio. So I will tell you my user experience. That's why this is about how we can enhance the user experience with a Copilot and in finance and operation. So if we go through what we have right now in Copilot in finance and operating, we have more AI features rolling out into the system, in the purchase orders, in products, in sales orders, in the vendors, in the inventory, and help us to summarize and see what are the all information in one single place. We can hand over about certain product, and we can get certain details as well. Other of the nice features we have in Copilot is that this warehouse mobile Copilot that help us, the warehouse worker, to understand what is the workload and understand what are the most critical activities in the warehouse as well. So it's essential for the metrics for the worker, generate all the call out for the work need to be done, and provide some insight that are very nice to review. This one is one of the most I like, is the from the purchase side, understand what are the changes in the system, what are going to be the impact for the purchase orders that are coming to our warehouse that we're going to arrive soon, but are going to impact our production process or delivery process. So this is what is one of the nice features that Copilot help us to summarize and take actions. We have Copilot as well in the collections, where we can see a very nice summary about the collections features into the ERP. And we have the information in one single screen at a glance. We have a detailed account summary. We can send reminders to the customer from the same screen. And of course, we have this sidecar that help us to understand what are the most common topics. So today, one of the topics that the people mostly struggle with the ERP is the lot of concept, lot of module, lot of different manners to work with the system. So this sidecar, I think, is a very good tool to get that proper help in the right way. And as well, we have the Copilot actions for Copilot. So as you can see in the screen, I can, with a quickly demo, I can ask with one single action to change the color of the system, or to do another type of actions into the ERP exactly from the sidecar. So I don't need to jump into the specific menu item, into the specific operations into the system to produce an action or make an action in the system. So this requires a little bit more of programming, but of course is available in X++ to extend the solution. And from Copilot Studio, we can execute these actions and make it part of this sidecar solution. So, but the most important is how we integrate Copilot Studio into the ERP with a natural language. Is an easy way to execute something. We can connect with the data. We can provide guidance to the people using the system. And I would like to quickly demo certain stuff. So let me see if I have enough time. So let me check here. So one of the typical actions, maybe I can ask Copilot today, maybe it will be something like, what time is this? So let's see if the Copilot can help us to solve this very simple and basic question. It's taking longer. Yeah, so expected. So Copilot is unable to provide this response, but I can still from Copilot Studio do some changes here. So I can work on this agent from Copilot Studio, and maybe with 2 or 3 clicks, I can allow the system to get to provide this topic to the system. So I will add a topic here. So I will do it today from blank. So provide the current time. And with a single message here, I can the current time is, and I can put here something like wrong part. Yeah, here. I can put the time here. So, and now, so I just only need to save this and put current time. And then I can is getting very slow, so I can publish this to the solution. So, one of the interesting things I can do from Copilot Studio as well is, hold on. Is to provide more context to the solution. Like as an example, I would like here today. I created a file today before this call. It's a simple PDF file I put here into the Copilot with the community call details for today. So, and what I did with this file, I uploaded here in Copilot into the knowledge section. So I put here this PDF file here. So I can ask Copilot now to tell me if I can get some details about this call today. So I can ask maybe, when is the next ERP community call? So, and I start getting more details, and I can ask for more details. So, and I will get more details from this PDF file into the ERP. And maybe now I can try again and ask Copilot what type it is. And now I get the response from the time. As well, as you saw here, we have this collections coordinator workspace. I would like to check one of these customers and understand what is happening behind the scenes. By default, I will get this summary coming out from the system, but at the same time, I can ask Copilot as well for more details about this customer. If you see from here, I'm not asking from about the specific account ID. So if we look behind the scenes about this topic, you will see that this here in this customer balance. One of the nice things we can do with Copilot is to get the context from the current form we can with a simple variable. We don't need to ask Copilot, so I can immediately from the actual form get the, in this case, the vendor ID. So if I go back to the ERP, so it was here. Yeah. So I can ask again. So I can check immediately what is the customer balance without ask for the make a question to the end user. What is the current account you want to look for more details? So if I'm in this page or in the customer page, the customer will be retrieved automatically. So one of that's nice key features that we can do as well. Other thing we can do as well is to include more knowledge into Copilot, like a Dataverse table. So here I added a Dataverse table or added the license guide that was released in January. And I can ask details to Copilot about, for example, I don't know, maybe something like this. What are the license requirements for invoice capture? So, and the Copilot behind the scenes, we're gonna do this. We're gonna start looking in the knowledge sources and we'll provide the details. And the same impact you will see in the user experience, so in the user interface with these details. So other type of things I can do as well is to upload a presentation. So I have here the business process from the business process catalog, the source to pay. And I would like to get maybe another question about what are the biggest challenges in the procurement and sourcing as an example. So if you look from end user perspective, if we put here documentation that is relevant to the project, that is relevant to the company, that is necessary for the operations into day-to-day, this Copilot sidecar can help us a lot to simplify the way of working. So that is one of the simplest way and don't require much effort to build a topic in Copilot. I was trying to make here an example, trying to get here the information from the customer balances using a OData call. So it's taking long today. I don't know what's happening in the demo, but this typically happens when we do some demos. Maybe I can try once again. In this screen, or maybe do it from a from the last one. So in general, Copilot can help us a lot to simplify the way how we interact with the system. So I would recommend that we get started learning about technologies that we are not familiar with, like Copilot Studio, Copilot for Finance. Natalia presented in November, Copilot for Finance. But there is a lot of and very well detailed exercise how to get started with Copilot. And this sidecar is one of the things that will help us a lot to simplify the user experience. And if we put the right content, the right data in, we can simplify a lot how we can get data. Last remark about data, how we can interact with data. Now it's quite easy to add data from Dataverse. From Dataverse, we can use dual write to synchronize data to Dataverse, and we can use that data in the Copilot Studio. Not now, but soon, hopefully, we will have the virtual entities available, and that will help us a lot as well to simplify how we interact with the data as well. So I think that's for today. So hopefully I'm over time.
Thank you. That was awesome. It's always great to see someone's like lived experience, right? What are they finding when they play with the tool? And it was great to see the different examples that you've managed to work, and also really cool to see how quickly you build something and then deploy and it works. So that was awesome. We have a question. I think Mohammed, you had your hand up. I don't know if you still have a question for Juan. No, it might have been accidental. Thank you. Oh, do you have a question?
Hello, I do.
Hi.
Sorry, it was taking a bit long to unmute myself. Anyways, thanks for this presentation. I do have a question, and that is, do you have on your roadmap to have in-app navigation? So the in-app chat experience that you have, how about if I write, show me customer aging report, and it actually takes me to the aging report that we already have somewhere in the workspaces?
Does anybody know the answer to that question off their head, or do you want to? If not, you can send me an email with that question, and we can get the answer for you.
I can answer actually.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I have attended a meeting with product group about this subject. Yes, there are some items about it in roadmap, like current page, current record, or current form. You can access these in Copilot Studio as variable, and you can customize it as your requirement. And also there will be some out-of-the-box features in Copilot Sidecar, like inquiring some data and taking some actions with Copilot.
That's really good. Any timelines to it?
I cannot recall the timeline at the moment.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
In addition, there are some bits and pieces in getting menu items in a Copilot Studio, which could be accessed, and with some tweaks, you can already make it happen that you ask Copilot to navigate to, for example, the customer's form. But it's not fully enabled yet.
So we have actually achieved that already using Copilot Studio. I was just wondering if it is on Microsoft roadmap and it will come out of the box in future.
Awesome. There's also another comment about how if you create an agent, how do you then interact with it? And in my experience, anyone we've been using it with Copilot agents that are accessed via Teams, you should go in and say, I want, you go into the agent section and say, I want to use this specific agent, and it interacts with it. So I think that might be worth us doing as another topic now that agents are becoming more and more prevalent, especially on the Microsoft roadmap. So we'll take that one away and see who we could get to come and present a little bit more on agents. We are over time. Thank you everybody for joining. Thanks to our two presenters today. You both did a fantastic job. Great suggestion to do the supplier agent. We're currently working on a series of videos that go through the agents in a little bit more detail that are being posted on our social media channels. So look out for those. And thank you everybody for your time. I hope you have a great evening and morning, afternoon, evening, and we will speak to you next month. Thanks everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go.
Bye.
Bye.